He's not even 13 years old yet, and he's already being prepared for something most people will never fully understand. But this moment, caught on camera at a Royal Air Force base, has stopped the entire world in its tracks. Because what you're about to hear isn't just a royal visit. It's a mother quietly shaping the future King of England. And nobody is talking about how she's doing it. This week, Kensington Palace released a video. A mother, a son, a legendary RAF base. On the surface, it looks simple, wholesome, routine. But here's what nobody is talking about. This visit was not an accident. It was not just a photo opportunity. Every single detail of this day was chosen, deliberately, to send a message. And once I tell you what was really happening at RAF Coningsby, you will never see Prince George the same way again. Trust me, this next part changes everything. So let's set the scene. RAF Coningsby, one of Britain's most historic and beloved Air Force bases. Windswept, proud, alive with history, and walking through it, side by side, the Princess of Wales and her firstborn son, almost as tall as her now. When did that happen? Since August 2023, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has served as Royal Honorary Air Commander of RAF Coningsby. And this wasn't just a title handed to her at a ceremony. She genuinely cares about this base, about the people on it, about what it stands for. And this Armed Forces Day, she brought George, her eldest son, the boy who will one day be king. Now think about that decision for a moment. She didn't bring him to a gala dinner. She didn't bring him to a charity function. She brought him here, to a runway, to history, to real people who serve. But wait, what they actually did on that base. That's where this story gets extraordinary. Because Kate and George didn't just wave at some aircraft and leave. They spent serious time with the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, the BBMF. One of the most sacred and celebrated units in the entire Royal Air Force. Based at Coningsby since 1976. Their mission, and this gives me chills every time, to keep alive the memory of the heroes of 1940. The men who climbed into those cockpits, knowing they might not come back, and flew anyway. The BBMF's fleet includes the last airworthy Avro Lancaster bomber in Britain, Spitfires, Hurricanes, a Dakota, training aircraft. And here's the thing people don't always realize. These are not museum pieces. They are not behind glass. These planes still fly. They appear at national commemorations across the United Kingdom. Every year, without fail, carrying the legacy of the fallen through the skies so that we never forget. And George stood there, 12 years old, looking up at those aircraft, with an expression on his face that said everything. That look of a child who suddenly understands something enormous, something heavy, something real. You can't teach that in a classroom. You can't get that from a textbook. That kind of understanding only comes from standing in the place where history breathed. And here's something most people don't know about George, something that makes this visit deeply personal for him. George turns 13 next month. And aviation is not just a royal obligation for this boy. It is a genuine passion. Back in 2024, on the very last day of his school summer holidays, George took a private flying lesson. White Waltham Airfield, near Maidenhead, just a short drive from the family's Windsor home. William and Kate stood on the ground and watched. Proud, emotional, maybe a little anxious, because that's what parents do. George flew with an instructor for nearly an hour. And by all accounts, he absolutely loved it. He didn't want to come down. The sky called to him. And it seems the love of flying runs deep in that family. And then there's Louis, 8 years old, and what he told his mom. It honestly melted hearts across Britain. Prince Louis, the youngest Wales child, just 8 years old, has already told Kate that he wants to be a fighter pilot one day. 8 years old, and he already knows what he wants. When Kate visited Coningsby on an earlier occasion, she shared that moment with a smile. And then she added, wisely, beautifully, I'm going to tell them it takes 8 years and a lot of hard work. That one line, that one sentence from a mother, said everything about how she is raising these children. Not with empty encouragement, not with false promises, but with honest love and high standards. She's not just their mother. She's preparing them for something extraordinary. So here's the real story. Here's what this visit was truly about. We opened this video asking, why does this matter? Why should we care about a mother and son spending a day at an air base? Because look at the bigger picture. George is 12 years old. In a few short years, and I mean this, blink and you will miss it, He will be stepping into full public duties. He will be representing the crown. He will stand at state funerals and national victories. At the moments that define an entire nation, he will carry the weight of 1,000 years of monarchy on those young shoulders. And what Kate is doing right now, she is building him for that. Not in boardrooms, not in ballrooms, but here, on windswept runways. Standing next to a Lancaster bomber that flew through enemy fire. Listening to the stories of men and women who gave everything, absolutely everything, so that future generations could live freely. She is teaching him what service actually means. Not the version in a history book, the version that breathes, that sacrifices, that shows up every single day without asking for applause. Kensington Palace's message said it beautifully. This visit was a powerful reminder of the courage, skill, and dedication shown by the armed forces throughout history. They expressed deep gratitude to everyone who has served and who continues to serve. On Armed Forces Day, a day celebrated right across the United Kingdom, for serving personnel, veterans, reservists, cadets, and the families, the often forgotten families, who stand quietly behind all of them, who hold things together at home while their loved ones serve. This is the future King of England, being shown, not told, shown, what it truly means to bow your head to those who gave more than most of us ever will. And honestly, watching it unfold, watching Kate guide her son through that moment, it's one of the most quietly powerful things the royal family has done in a long time. George is almost 13. Louis already dreams of fighter jets. And Catherine, she is raising them in the shadow of history. So they never forget the weight of the crown they will one day carry. This wasn't just a royal visit. This was a legacy being passed down, in real time, on a runway in Lincolnshire. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Kate is doing an incredible job preparing George for his future role? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And tell me, who do you think will surprise us more? King George or fighter pilot Louis? If this story moved you, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the royal family is never short of stories that make you feel something real. Until next time, take care of yourselves.